Welcome back to the finale of the Kingdom Hearts Final Mix playthrough. We've done it. We have found all the Trinities and used them. We have found all the lost puppies, all the Dalmatians, all 99. We've done it all. All the gummy ships. None of the gummy missions. I couldn't be bothered to touch those for the purpose of this, because it's the same thing, but with, like, score requirements and whatnot. So...
no gummy ship missions.
yeah.
They're not.
So, Damax.
Yes.
Big question for this finale.
Question, yes.
Before we actually get to the final boss, I want to ask you, what was your... can you remember your first experience with this game and reaching this final door?
I remember my very first experience with the game. With this door, sadly, no. It's all kind of a blur now that I think about it my first time through.
Okay, I figured that much. I have a follow-up question. Do you love Billy Zane?
Yeah. Well, I mean, for the sake of right now, of course.
Yes, for
the sake of right now, yes.
For those of you who agree, this is the part for you.
10 out of 10. Greatest voice actor of all time.
I wouldn't say he's that good.
I know, I'm just joking. But he's good. He does a good job.
Yeah, this is actually a modded version. We're back on Destiny Island.
That'd be funny. They just really did that.
There are a lot of there are quite a few mods of this game that I've seen. One of the most prominent, or the one that sticks out in my mind the most that I found, was a mod for Kingdom Hearts 2, actually, so it's slightly off topic, but it has to do with Destiny Island. The guy modded to where Sora can explore, like, the town of Destiny Island. You can't see it in this game because it wasn't written in the script yet. But Destiny Island is not just the island. It's a town, and that's why Sora and the others have to take a boat to get there.
Yes, which is... it's implied, but I don't really see how you're supposed to figure it out, honestly. They don't... I guess... well, because...
well, you see the island in the distance,
Yeah.
but
that's the thing, but to me, I just thought he was, like, in the treehouse or something. Because for some reason, I thought they lived in the trees. I was stupid, but...
well, I think what throws most people off is the fact that you can't see it beyond the sea, and not very consistent when you see it in the second game.
And you can see the island from
perfectly
the city.
Clear.
Yeah. It's Riku. I like how his belt looks like more in depth than everything else.
Yeah, super quality belt. So it's actually his accessory, the dark belt.
Do you like his dark suit design? Giving him that sort of dark, invisible skin?
Kind of Hawaiian-y to me, and that's why I can't take it as seriously as like, you know, Ansem's outfit.
Okay, I need to point some out. Weird camera going on in this scene.
How so?
Well, you just noticed it was on nothing, and then it panned to Sora going, Riku!
Oh, yeah. I think that was always there, though.
It is. That's what I'm saying. Like, this scene always just had it. Oh, sorry, I'm talking. This is a good speech.
Oh,
I guess,
yes.
Sort of. And I'm not 100% sure with the lore, but I'm pretty sure what he's saying isn't, like, just bullshit. I was trying to, like, censor bullshit. Isn't just BS. He's actually kind of speaking, like, a pseudo-truth right now.
Like, statistically from his experience.
Yeah.
This is his philosophical belief.
And then Sora's nice comeback. Like, right here, what's the camera doing?
Yeah.
Just kind of like... I don't know, I just thought that was funny.
That is very strange.
So, I don't know if this is I have this as a Final Fantasy thing, but, you know games with Gauntlet last bosses?
Yes.
This is the king of Gauntlet last bosses.
You bet your sweet ass it is. And I love the series for it. I don't know why. I'd imagine some people slay the idea. I absolutely love multi-stage final bosses. Multi-stage, like, mid-bosses, like, say you fought the third boss in a game, and he had, like, 2 or 3 stages. I'd have a bit more of a problem with that, unless it, like, fit the character. Or
the game.
Yeah.
Or like games like Bayonetta, which have just big bosses.
All the time. You break them down little by little. Yeah, like so, that I understand. This Because I love a good boss fight, and if nothing else, the spectacle of the Kingdom Hearts boss fights, they get to me. They really appeal to me, is what I'm trying to say. Putting it very mildly. They appeal to me very, very much, and this fight is no exception. It's a bit... because I leveled up for the secret bosses so much, this does go by kind of quickly, but I thought for the purpose of the playthrough, it's alright, because there are quite a few stages, so it does still... The fight does still go on for quite a bit.
Yeah, and it changes it up to some degree.
Yeah.
Although this... Oh, you'll see when it goes on. Oh yeah, so this guardian creature.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like to know the story on him? Well,
tell me what
so
you know.
would I. That's a sadness. But yeah, this is just the phase 1. And I was thinking about this. If you want to like get somewhat technical, this is kind of the area where you fight the kids at in the beginning of the game.
Oh yeah, okay.
Right at like the brink of the where like it hops up for the secret place.
That'd be hilarious if you could just fall off and he's like, "Hey, come on, where are you going?"
Oh yeah, the thing pops up and it's just...
Yeah, because if you actually do like swim in the ocean during those fights, it just ends and you lose.
I don't want you running away.
Yeah.
Which is stupid because you gain no benefit from doing that.
Nah.
So what, do you have any... wait, never mind. I guess I was going to say, like, do you have any theories as to why this is Destiny Islands? But, I mean, it makes sense. Destiny Islands was taken.
Yeah,
so.
it's the destroy... This is like the shell of what This is the island's nobody.
Yeah. Oh. Oops. Oh, whatever.
No, it really is, though. Like, in context of the game, this is, for all intents and purposes...
That is true. You do kind of explore just the remnants of what's left behind.
Just the shell.
And then this part, I actually really... Did you just pause it and do something?
I think
that
I did.
part of it just watch. But yeah, that's like a grace period if you like found that really first fight really tough to use like a cottage if you need to.
Yeah, I did that on purpose to show it off. Wink.
So, I'm just if you have trouble with the first boss, just a tint. And then we're back to dark side.
Why?
I don't know. Does he gain a power boost? Nope.
Well, he does.
Well, he compensates for your higher level, but he gets no new skills. Except
he starts off with his like super meteor attack.
It's so slow though.
It is slow. It is cool to look at though. Check this shit out.
Yeah, dark side's definitely intimidating.
And then they just start coming down.
I don't know. Is this like some poetic justice? I don't think that's the right phrase. But just like, why are you fighting him again?
There are quite a few theories, some that I've come up with, that this could legitimately be like somebody's Heartless, or it could just be a throwback to Darkseid. I don't know. This could be Destiny Island's Heartless along with the Nobody, and
that could be true. Although
because you destroy them both, the real island comes back, which is legitimate lore that's pointed out in the later game. But I'm getting ahead of myself. It is a tad odd.
So, without spoiling the rest of this fight, I have to say this is probably my favorite phase.
Yeah, just 1v1.
1v1, and he's improved. He's got even more moves than he just did previously.
Mm-hmm. Taking you a bit more seriously.
Do not deny it.
Oh, and of course, submit!
The greatest line.
The most most quoted word in the history of the internet.
Submit!
Among Kingdom Hearts fans, anyway.
See, sometimes I wish I took online classes, just so I could get my project ready and be like, submit! And
yeah.
that'll make me want to finish my homework, just to say that.
And then, well, you put it that way, and then every YouTuber ever, subscribe!
That would be awesome!
You hear that, viewers? Subscribe! You cannot deny it!
You hear that, YouTube? Add that to the subscribe thing every time you click it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that reminds me of the... What is it like if you look up Harlem Shake or something? YouTube, the whole site does a weird Harlem dance, and it was really bizarre. Somebody at my school showed me that, and it was like... Anyway, back to the fight. It's not...
Yeah,
we're kind of hyped that this is the end game.
It's been quite a journey.
But I wish I could tell you more about this guardian creature. It's it's a very strange enigma in the Kingdom Hearts series.
And honestly, if you take it just for this, you can just assume, oh, he has the power to kind of like summon a minion.
Exactly.
But future games, I don't. Maybe it's just me not personifying, but me just my own thoughts. But I always feel like later games hint that there's something more going on with him.
Yeah, I thought it was very strange. What throws me off is that the later games reveal that the Guardian itself is not a Heartless exactly. It's literally just a manifestation of dark power. And honestly, that's probably all you absolutely need to know about it for the sake of the game. Because I highly doubt that what hasn't been explained about it, like, it'll just be left for
that's what
viewer speculation.
Well, I mean, I'm fine with that if it's just a thing. I have this feeling there's something else going on.
They definitely throw you a few curveballs that suggest that.
Yeah, but I do agree with you. If it's just a manifestation of his darkness, then, well, cool. He just does it in a cool way. I don't know what's going on.
I
don't know what happened.
Yeah.
Behold. Man, I forgot there's so many cutscenes here. Oh, well. Oh, yeah.
He said the title!
He said it. He said it. That's a good... So...
That's what she said.
That's Kingdom Hearts?
No.
No, I don't know if you can see... I don't know if it's later on after the fight, but if you look very closely at the door, the darkness kind of has a silhouetted heart around it.
Oh, yeah, I think I've noticed that.
Yeah, it's just really hard to see. Like, I think I've only seen it, like, in a screenshot, which sort of personified it more. And this is cool.
This is phallic is what it is.
It is very
and everybody
phallic.
says it.
I don't care.
I don't totally agree.
He's got a head right at the end.
For a young audience, it's not the smartest design they could have made. But...
Well, it's only because he's at the top. Oh, yeah, so... I mean, I'll explain what I mean with that, but... So that part there, is that... What did you always take that as? Did you take that as really Riku? Like a flashback? Sort of, like, bipolar, maybe? I don't know, like... How did you always take that line?
Well, for what's coming up at the end, not to give anything away, I would say it's him.
It's just legitimately him?
It's legitimately him. Like, either speaking through his head or his voice is able to reach him. And you'll see what I mean by the end of the fight.
And he is ginormous.
I love the scale of this fight. This is so good. It's intimidating.
It is, but he himself
he's
a bigger human being, too.
Yeah.
And if you notice his weapon, I actually don't know what you call that type of sword. But it's that type of sword, Soul Eater, which is Riku's weapon.
Yeah, just a couple of Soul Eaters. And I think most nerds would coin it as the Darth Maul
I was just about to say it. It's the Darth Maul sword.
Yeah.
And then if you notice that little guy, that's a little Heartless, a pure blood, I think. No emblem. That
Totally
just
pure
appears here. And so there's no real name for it. I think the strategy guide gives a name. Oh no, it doesn't. It just calls him question mark.
Yeah.
So that's the most elusive thing in the game.
Do they even do anything?
I think they slash you, but they drop balls, and I think that's what they're for.
The balls have been dropped indeed.
Oh yeah, and there's like a million of like the slow. You stopped.
Yes, I stopped the whole game.
The stop animation is pretty cool.
I like it.
Yeah.
The numbers, the Roman numerals, rather. I'm gonna go to bed now.
Yeah, it's hibernating.
It's late. I'm tired of this shit.
So,
this game's too long.
This is intimidating, except for the face of his heart thing.
It does come off as kind of silly, but as a kid, however, I did find it kind of intimidating to go toward. And I don't have any dark past connected to my childhood, so it's nothing symbolizing. Never mind. It was legitimately intimidating. And honestly, it is nowadays, but for different reasons if you're playing a harder difficulty. But they've added yet another set of gauntlets in addition to this boss fight, and...
Yeah, you're barely gonna be fighting. Yeah, that was just... Now this is almost just kind of like a one long mission. Just an objective after objective, sort of.
Yep.
It's not bad. It's just...
I do like the exploding cores, though. I always try to jump like into the explosion. Like, that was the portal just bursting into existence.
I always found those parts interesting because it's the only time you hear him make like the sound. So for some reason, hitting that is directly hurting him for some reason.
Oh, yeah.
Not like his penis turrets, but... Okay, yeah, you're right. What are these? You cannot explain those in any other way.
Well, no, you don't know it, but these are also pure-blood heartless. These are just hearts of Japanese people.
That was just me.
But true.
Perhaps.
I'm sorry, they make a lot of great
general...
things. They make a lot of great things like this, but...
Well, yeah, from a general perspective. But we're American. Anything bad about Americans, we probably fulfill.
Yeah.
We're lazy, we're fat, we're stupid.
Stereotype. What do you think of the Guardians Mega Evolution, by the way?
I think it's cool.
I like the design. It's
a huge battleship. And that's what I was trying to explain. If you look at it from a battleship perspective, it looks less
that's what I always thought it was.
But you're right, he sticks up a little too far from the top that it looks like a dude with a giant dong.
Can we not linger on that? It's flat enough to me.
It'll go away once you destroy the turrets.
I think it's the bulge on the forehead that gives it off. I'm just saying.
So do you like these little heartless fights?
I thought it was cool that this is how you retrieve your party members.
Yeah.
That was kind of neat.
And they actually come and save you. And yeah, I think it's cool that they drop stuff for you. Mm-hmm. So in case this is kind of like a respite if you need it.
Okay. I actually have a question about that. You save Goofy first and then Donald. Can the order change depending on how you have your party organized?
Don't know. Because...
I would imagine not, because they are removed when you fight Darkseid and Ansem round 2.
Yeah, plus Donald is ultimately in front, so I find it weird that it gives you the second party member first.
Yeah. And here we go. This is face. Not head. Face.
Yeah, it's face.
So that's how they save the this creature. Now, that lightning attack very much...
The Earth, yeah.
You know, it's not pretty. None of it is pretty, and on a higher difficulty where it does a lot more damage, especially when you don't have MP Rage, this can be a very frustrating fight.
And now that you've seen it, the reason why I like the fight prior to this is just because, I've said it before, the flying, I just think the flying ensuing mechanics just take away something when you can't dodge roll.
I can appreciate how animated the face is, though.
Do you have to destroy those?
No, I'm just showing off that you can for some extra points. In the grand scheme of things, it doesn't really do much, but if you're like borderline ready to level up, you might as well.
Yeah. Sadly, you could not save though after this, so.
Yeah, didn't they have that in one of the versions of Final Mix though? I remember being able to save after the fight.
In 2.
No, I know in 2, but even in this game.
No, in 2 Final Mix. Wait. I don't think so, actually. Because I know you can't save after 2, but 2 Final Mix you could. Because there was actually stuff gated by beating the game.
And for those of you who aren't following, what I mean by that is I imported Final Mix 2 Plus from Japan, and I later imported the first Final Mix game. And those, you know... As of 1.5 Remix and 2.5 Remix, the Final Mix versions of the Kingdom Hearts games were Japanese exclusive. We did not get them in America until this collection hit the shelves. Not knowing this at the time, you know, I imported them. I used swap magic tools in the disc to... No, I'm not going to make the joke. In order to play the games. And that's what I mean whenever, if you go back parts and I say stuff like this version of Final Mix, which, you know, at this point, it just sounds stupid.
Yeah, I don't, well...
Because there's been so many versions.
You don't use this term that often, but are you fine with the term vanilla?
Yeah, I understand the meaning behind it.
But, like, I think that's a good way to reference just the first game. But you're right, now that there's HD Final Mix. You can't really just say Final Mix.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to call it Remix, I guess.
And then you get these really pedantic people on the comments. Well, there's vanilla, and then there's vanilla bean, and...
That'd be funny. Oh, I guess you could say... Oh, never mind, that wasn't going to make any sense. I was going to say you could say the English version was vanilla bean, because it was even better than the Japanese.
Oh, snap!
Because it...
Nipples!
I know, he's cool Studley.
He is very... This guy works out a lot.
See,
You wouldn't think that of a nerd.
How is he a nerd?
Well, he was a scientist, don't you know?
Yeah, but he was a buff scientist.
Yeah, he was. That's some Hulk crap right there. Just to
What do you mean?
Just to coin it into more... Anyway.
So those laser beams he shoots out behind him? Oh, this move. This is an interesting move.
I love the effects for this thing.
I never noticed how cool it looked.
Mm-hmm.
But it sucks you up, and then it does that. It's just a cool move. He has
Supernova.
There's that, and then he has that move with zaps your magic, but I don't know if it's gonna come.
Yeah, this is it right here, where those 3 mouths are glowing. It saps your magic 1 point at a time.
Yeah. But yeah, that was the fight.
That was the fight. Over with quickly. I apologize, but like I said,
This fight kind of... Well, it's cool. Like you said, it's from the spectacle. It's really cool. From a gameplay standpoint,
yeah, exactly.
It's pretty much just, do you have enough... Like, are you a high enough level to survive?
Yeah.
Good.
It's consistent with the rest of the game. Hit this button as many times as you can, and the boss will die. Can you
Pretty
do
much,
it?
yeah. Just make sure you get time to heal. We're being facetious, by the way. Even though it's true for most of the time.
That bit there with the final boss explosion, that was the Rumble controllers, like...
Like,
That
was like his day.
that was his day.
So, I guess, was that even him?
Ah.
Or is that just the Guardian? I don't know.
Oh, that
building too much
exploded?
No, yeah, because now here he is, just normal, though. Back with his shirt on. Pout! I'm just kidding. He is quite studly, though.
Yeah, that would have made... Yeah! You know, why does he have his shirt back on? Although...
I guess because that wasn't really him. He was like 4 times his normal size.
Well, yeah, I suppose, but...
And here's what I was talking about, is that we can make the assumption all hearts are born from Kingdom Hearts, and he's not lying. Kingdom Hearts is within darkness, which is a later established in later games. Oh, I love this part.
Oh,
I just love the way he says it.
What? It burns us!
But this is such... this, like, music gets to me. It's so eerie.
Oh, yes, Beyond the Door. I love this track.
It's just so... It's kind of sad.
It is a little.
You feel a little bad for him.
That bit where he goes, but why? He honestly wasn't expecting that, which raises a theory of mine, which I will not bring up in this game, but a later one.
Mental note. Bring up the game.
Yes.
I'm not gonna remember
Because
that.
this... I may as well just, clarify so we can get a bit more commentary before the end. This is Kingdom Hearts, but this is the door to darkness.
Yes. And if you paid attention to the fairy tale, which is a fairy tale version of the story, Kingdom Hearts was engulfed by the darkness.
Yes.
And I don't know if they say it in this game, but there is a line that says the deepest light or something lies in the deepest darkness. I'm pretty sure I didn't just make that up.
Something that always bothered me as a kid. Why don't you go out and push? I don't want to seal you in.
This is very confusing, but there is actually a reason for this.
A very big reason.
Yes, and then I don't know how that happened, but who could it be?
Oh my god, they exploded. Somebody one-shot a boss.
I think everyone who bought Kingdom Hearts was waiting for this moment.
This is why they all bought the game.
I'm pretty sure it was. Right here. Boom!
Da-da-da-da.
Mickey with a golden keyblade.
Dun dun dun!
That is just the coolest thing. Like, what the heck? That just happens.
It's Walt Disney with a thumbs up, just as we predicted. And I love how they give him the silhouette, as if we don't know who it is.
I like how it's just...
Ew.
This scene's sad, too. You
It
can trust
is.
King Mickey.
His ears are weird
Oh
in
yeah,
that shot, though.
yeah. Well, if you
It's,
know,
a,
they
it's,
always
it's an ear mohawk.
it's a Disney thing though. His ears are never not like that.
Eh.
All right, so what's about to happen here? I like that. That's just like the greatest face he could have made.
Yeah, that's pretty great, but I hate this part that comes up.
Really, I like it. I was gonna say
It makes me sad.
well, it makes you sad, but it's the something weird's about to happen right after this. It's gonna go to some sepia tone, and this is actually a final mix thing.
Yeah, this is something they added, and it wasn't totally needed, but it was a nice touch, as sad as it was.
I agree, because I don't want to say Sora doesn't care, but they brush off for a different issue. So this is kind of like the reiterating, yes, he is sad that happened.
Yeah, which, honestly, that's all it's doing, because Riku... Riku... He's not, like, gone.
Yeah.
And, like, by the time you see this, you'll already know that. So the purpose of this cutscene, while it is, like, Sora lost a friend, it's kind of lackluster in the time of this release.
Oh, that is true. Well, he's still sad about it, though.
Hello, noogie 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 noogie.
But yeah, it's a little more...
Why is Kairi in this Riku montage?
So they can look back.
Okay, fine.
And then it goes color for a split second.
Oh yeah, no, never mind. That's actually a pretty good shot, because then Sora's like... Wait for it. It stays white, and then he goes back and he's like, wait a minute!
There's someone else.
Oh yeah, the forgettable one!
So mean. But
It's true!
It's so true. And it's just... She's not... Like, I don't even think she's a bad character. I think the personality quirks they did give her make her fairly decent. I just don't...
They don't do enough with her to make her as important as they keep implying that she is.
Yeah, and it's just kind of... whatever. We can get onto it when she gets even less screen time in future games.
And now, to kind of point out why she's there in the first place, the secret door, as far as we know, or I know anyway, I don't know if you have any different theories, but the secret door in the secret place on Destiny Island, that links up, basically, that area where Sora fought Ansem just now. Kairi's showing up here because this is where the island is going to form again.
Yeah, well, I agree. I don't agree, but I mean, yeah, I think that too. She's there because of the, because she just was kind of teleported there. Because you're right, the island was reforming.
Mm-hmm.
But, I see, that's hard to say, because I always just assumed it was the keyhole.
Mm-hmm.
But you're right, that they never explain that whole this world has been connected. And you're right, why was she directly there?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and this little bit going on, those are all the worlds that Sora saved.
Yeah.
Such a subtle, like, badass thing, though.
Oh, like another... this has been going on for a long time.
Yeah, that it... Oh, yeah, no... Okay, I'm gonna try to pinpoint when it is, but there's no lines here in any of the English versions. But in every Japanese version, I'm pretty sure. It's not even like a final mix thing. It's just the Japanese version. Kairi has a line here. I think the camera, like, pans... You know when the camera, like, pans around her? She has a line along the lines of, like, I have, like, Sora's feelings have reached me and I understand, or I won't forget them or something. Like, pretty much saying, like, I know Sora cares for me. But it's like, I won't forget him, which is just the funniest thing. I hear her say.
That's amazing.
I just wonder why they took it out. Right here. She's thinking, she's all like, it's like Sora's love has reached me, and I won't forget
you. Next game. who are you?
Sora?
Sora? He's not a freaking dog. He's like refers to him as a pet. Just, Sora.
Isn't that right? Sora?
Peter Pan.
Kingdom Hearts voice acting, so beautiful yet so laughable.
Yes, there is. And there's a reason for a lot of that, like, closing. Like, Riku's gone. Kairi will never forget Sora.
Oh, this part is... I like this part. I think this was...
This was pretty sweet.
And it's just adding that Sora image just makes me sad.
Oh, yeah, just all the more implying, like, oh no.
Well, because he looks so innocent.
Yeah.
Aww. Okay, I have to say something. I'm happy she found this after he saved her life, or that would have been kind of creepy. I've heard, I don't know. I think that I would have been a little off put if I were her.
Yes, we've all probably made the joke of, you know, the Powerpuff Fruit and symbolism and
Yeah, eat my fruit.
eat my fruit
And then here we go.
off the tree.
The nice memory montage.
Yay!
I like this song.
We have a history of talking over the credits. We've only LP'd one other game.
Yeah,
so
but
we're going to keep that consistency. So,
I think this is our final thoughts time.
well, I'm going to finish one of the thoughts I was trying to get to, is that there was a lot of implied, you know, this is the end of the adventure, done. The worlds are saved, done. However, what kind of sent the series into, I wouldn't say a total downward spiral, but it kind of backed it into a corner, is that they did all that, and then you'll see after the credits, there's a bunch of stuff at the end that suggests the adventure will continue.
Well,
The writers just didn't know what at the time, from what I've been told.
yeah. Although now that I think about it, if you want to go like, that actually would be a satisfying ending.
That's what I'm saying.
Kai returns home, Riku sacrificed himself, and Sora will just continue to be the Keyblade wielder. The hero.
Well,
Because I get what you're saying, the scene at the end to add something else, but I mean, like, you got to question, were they really going to kill off Riku? Is Sora really just going to be lost to nowhere?
at the time, for my experience anyway, Chain of Memories for the GBA was my first game, so I knew he'd be coming back.
Oh yeah, that must have been kind of weird.
Yeah, not the best, and that's probably
And that was
why
my
I
fault.
treat this game with even more respect, because that first game was like, I thought that was cool because it was my first ever Kingdom Hearts game. Go back to it, fucking terrible.
Well,
It's still, I think it's fun for the challenge of it though. Like the gimmick's weird, but again, kind of getting ahead of ourselves. We'll save that for the next game.
next game. And
Yeah, this isn't the end of us talking just yet.
Nor is it the end of the credits.
That would have been a nice ending to it. But I like this, though. You had that little happy montage, and now epilogue.
Yeah, not picture epilogue, actual full-on.
Full-ons. Which, I don't know about you, but this, to me, looked like the original quality cutscenes.
Yeah, Okay, I can't, say 100% I noticed, but I do remember thinking that when I went through these games, that I don't think they upped these things.
Yeah.
And I think it's even more apparent in, the second one.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
That's, abysmal.
It's just so weird. And then here's a little...
Continuity.
Yeah, a nice little throw to the Final Fantasy fans. I guess.
Aww. Who's the dude with the gunblade?
I don't know.
He's not from my game.
That'd be fun. He's a real boy! Yay!
Oh boy!
Oh. That's what I imagine he's doing right now.
Oh yeah, the oh.
I'm happy. And they're still in Traverse Town, I think. They're in the same house. Whether or not it's Traverse Town, I don't actually know.
I suppose.
Oh, shield the eyes, children.
Oh my god, I thought this was rated E. I love Genie, I really do.
Which makes, that's what, for some reason I was under this mentality that, Sora and Riku, I mean, Sora and Kairi will never come in for the kiss because of some sort of censoring thing, but they do it for the Disney character.
What have you done?
Okay, I'm sorry, but given all the evidence the game gives me, that's where my mind wants to go. It doesn't want to go there. That's just where it goes.
It's instinct by now.
That was totally just
damn you, fan art.
But I don't know. I'm waiting for, because that's how all the Disney movies end. The Disney princess kissed the prince. Yeah. So it would be a nice end of this series.
Oh, but then you get that prissy fangirl. Kairi's not a Disney princess. Nah.
Well, she's a Disney character who happens to be a princess.
Oh
yeah, Yoko Shimomura.
I
like that
best.
Person.
He was.
I think it's a she.
Really?
Yeah, I was surprised too. Women can't do things. I'm just kidding. No, I think it's a shame.
Women can't kiss Sora. That's not what he was made for.
I am totally joking. Equality. But I like that music person. They do great work.
He's very paranoid about that.
Well, because I'm always afraid someone's going to take a lot of things I say seriously. Oh, see, Lance Bass. There you go.
Please disregard everything we say.
Yeah, everything we say is not real.
It's all. This is just something we do to pass the time.
Gilbert. Oh yeah, Yago does talk.
I kind of. James Woods. Huzzah. I don't. It bothers me that they don't name which characters they play, because there are a lot of notable names, but there are still some people won't know right away.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, like. I agree too. I don't know why they don't. I guess they didn't want to take the time. I just kind of find that a little disrespectful to some degree. Mm-hmm. But, you know, you could assume they do that just because they already have the reputation of voicing that character, you know? Because for the most part, they do actually get the original voice actors.
Mm-hmm. For a lot of characters, and a lot of it really surprised me because some of them don't always sound exact like they used to, but...
No. Well, I mean, like... Yeah,
well, it shocked me, you know, the last Kingdom Hearts game to come out with, like, the latest voice acting, or, like, the most recent voice acting, was Dream Drop Distance. And it actually blew my mind when you told me that was still Haley Joel Osment, because it didn't sound like him.
Yeah, he was... From what I've heard, he was trying to do something with his voice to make it sound different. But what makes me question that is he does it before they do the test. And never mind, we can't explain this without getting into it. But
yeah,
I was just about to say something about the voice actors, and I don't remember. Whatever. Do you have anything else to say? For this moment in time?
Okay, now we can get into final thoughts. We'll start with you while I try to bullshit my way out of my part.
So over the years, this game has gotten reception for being confusing, lack of direction, clunky combat, and lack of direction. I agree with, but I also think that's kind of just part of RPGs. You just explore and you figure things out. But other than that, like, yes, the combat compared to the future games is clunky, but I've played other action RPGs, and nothing is as cool as what you can even do in this game. So, I think this game holds up today. Like I've said, replaying it made me dislike it a little more, or see its faults, but then rewatching it with you, I just thought, yeah, this is just a charming, neat game.
Okay. Very respect. I think this is a direct message to the Kingdom Hearts fan base and to those who just hate the franchise because of the turns that it took in the future. I can respect the franchise. I can see it for its faults. You cannot get me to say that this is not one of my absolute favorite RPG franchises ever made. I like you said, the charm of it is very unique. You can't get this with any other game. I mean, as we pointed out a couple times, you know, Disney and Final Fantasy. What kind of a sandwich is that? Like putting not even turkey and ham together. That's like ham and cotton candy into a sandwich. Cotton candy would be Disney. Ham is, you know, Final Fantasy, hearty meat. Anyway, sorry for that weird little...
That's a weird analogy.
Metaphor
it kind of works.
But my overall thoughts on this game specifically...
Hold on, I'm going to hold the... I just want to hold the thought one here. There's a line that's going to come up at the very end of this. And as of the date, I'm still not even sure it's been resolved.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just like, food for thought. I'm just saying that I don't know. You can argue this happened in 2, but I personally don't think it did.
Hello, my viewing fans. This is Valgo calling to apologize for this rather abrupt change in audio. Due to me babbling like an idiot for the rest of, let's say, 5, I'm going to try and trim it down, but about 5 minutes of just utter nonsense trying to collectively end the part, I'm going to take this as an opportunity to better construct my outro, as it were, my final thoughts on Kingdom Hearts 1. So yeah, apologies for that. I'd like to start with just by saying you've probably heard me complain a lot about before, and probably will in the future, a lot of the negative backlash that the series has had to suffer for quite some time now. I'm not completely opposed to it. It is not without reason. I absolutely agree with a lot of the points to a certain extent. A lot of factors such as, and I won't be addressing them directly as seen in the series, but stuff like story content, poor story choices in terms of character development, um, character animation has been giving some complaints here and there. Plot is probably one of the biggest controversies in the Kingdom Hearts series. Definitely, definitely not the most well reviewed, just to put it simply. But I just want to say that I'm going to save most of it for more detailed explanations in future playthroughs, but I will say, again, I'm not going to attempt to completely disprove and disagree with those statements done by these reviews that I've read up. It's more to kind of take a look at the sunny side, which some people, for whatever reason, tend to avoid in terms of the Kingdom Hearts franchise. But again, more on that later on other playthroughs. My final thoughts on Kingdom Hearts 1, this game. Graphically, very different first time I experienced it. For the HD remake overhaul, it wasn't even an overhaul, it was just, again, kind of a remastering, and I can appreciate that. I expected a bit more in terms of, like, graphic flair. You know, magic could have been a little... They could have messed with the particles or whatever it is that they did use to create the magic, like fire, blizzard, lightning, stuff like that, to make it, you know, flashier but not overly so. The fact that it's stuck with the bare minimum in terms of remastering their games, the music also part of it most of the tracks got remastering as well, which I can appreciate. But in terms of a major graphic overall, it looks like we're going to have to wait for Kingdom Hearts 3 for the PS4. Gameplay. Again, I've splurged about this quite a bit. The gameplay I prefer greatly to turn-based. Not to say the turn-based is bad, I just prefer much more hands-on and free-flowing kind of thing where you're in control of every single action and every second counts. It provides more excitement, definitely, and just that feeling of freedom that, that I get from the Kingdom Hearts series is what makes it one of my most favorite franchises. The characters, I don't really have a problem with a lot of the characters in terms of design, development. Animation could be improved on. There are, again, sticking to a lot of defaults, but that's kind of the square trope, again, working with the minimum and focusing on what they consider to be the major factors of their game. Probably like story and just overall content, because Square games are, by nature, very massive. And the one major thing that I would like most of you to remember is that my idea of an ideal story is one that is planned out, especially if it's planned to be huge. You have to proofread everything before you move on from one chapter to the next to the next. Remove remove any continuity errors. And it can be very difficult because of how massive the Kingdom Hearts story has been. But another thing to remember in terms of the first game is that they weren't sure how well received such an experiment was going to be. And that's, I think, the mindset that led the story to where it is right now, with all the things that they had thought of setting up in the first game and didn't quite seem to reach any of the sequels or prequels. To an extent, it just seems like it is more referenced than picked back up from. Like, that was Kingdom Hearts 1, and now we go to 2, or I guess in this case, Chain of Memories. There's really no smooth transition. However, again, Kingdom Hearts, one of my favorite franchises. First game, I'd give a 7.5 out of 10, just as a game itself, not even considering the franchise as a whole. And I think that's about it. That's all I can really think to say about the first game. So from me, Valgo.
And me, Domix.
The Max, thank you. And we will see you next time for the Rechain of Memories playthrough. See you then. Sigh indeed.